You're the godfather of the London bass players, the session guys, you know.
Wasn't aware, just oldest, I think.
And if you haven't heard of Mo before, because, you know, you might have been living in a cave, he's worked with guys such as like Phil Collins, Jeff Beck. You've just been showing us pictures at Phil Collins' birthday party, where Eric Clapton's playing, Robert Plant's singing, you know, and you've been doing, you've been involved in the industry kind of since it started.
Since the dawn of civilization.
Yeah. But how did you get into it?
Sort of almost accidents, really. Yeah. I'd played a bit at school, and at that time there was no climate of a career in music. It didn't exist unless you joined a pop band. And I went to university to study physics, of all things.
Wow.
And when I was there, discovered jazz and ended up playing drums in a jazz trio.
And did you play drums beforehand, or was this
not really? No. Well, I'd learned to play
drums.
You know, Take Five by Dave Brubeck.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was fascinated by the drum part, and learnt to play all the intricacy of what the different limbs did.
Yeah.
So I could play in 5/4, but I couldn't play in 4/4. So it took me years to lose that beat. And after university, several of us didn't like real life, so we started a jazz rock band called Affinity. We had the fortune to team up with Ronnie Scott. He became our manager, and we were based at the club. I played there, and
you're still playing drums at this point, right?
No, I was back to bass guitar.
Back to bass.
Yeah, and we saw people like Stan Getz and Miles Davis and Oscar Peterson. All these people were in the club on the same bill, and so saw these legends every night.
How old were you at this point?
Early 20s.
Wow.
And so it was a great learning, like another university, learning from these legends.
Yeah.
And that band finished, and I put an ad in Melody Maker saying ex-name group. I didn't say Passport and Stack like some people did.
Yeah.
But I got a reply from Michael Darbo's manager, the guy. Remember Mike Darbo from the Manfred band?
Yeah, yeah.
He was starting a solo career. And he's looking for musicians. And Henry Spinetti, the drummer, and I turned up. Henry and I began playing. And we did some recording. But word of mouth started then. And I discovered sessions. I'd never heard of them. Didn't know they existed.
Was this a completely new...
Yeah. What, you turn up and play and you get paid
money?
You get paid 10 times more than you did doing it live. I'll do this. And that was it, really. It was a mushrooming thing. You know, each one led to another two
How
sessions.
had you got you playing together up to this point?
Hard work, but not knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Was
it like just suit like experimentation, listening to records?
Yeah, trying to copy stuff. Yeah, all by ear.
Yeah.
Ear is very important. I didn't think I needed to read at first because I was playing lines from chords. I found out later that it was very handy because the arrangers of the day didn't know how to write Tamla Motown parts.
Oh, okay.
So they got me or John Paul Jones or someone in to play the part from the chords because we knew what it ought to be.
Okay, yeah.
So everyone's happy. Then the heavy reading started, and I was on a session at Abbey Road one day with a 50-piece orchestra. Terrified again. Now, 9-piece rhythm section.
Had you been given parts up to this point? Were you kind of sort of like, I'm going to bluff it a little bit?
You never see him ahead. You see him on the day. But this was all written, and I wasn't used to this. And I thought, well, I can't own up to this. I'll just listen to what everybody else is playing and fit in.
Yeah.
The guitar, the percussion, everything. And it was going along okay until halfway through the second session, the MD, an American composer called David Rose, he wrote The Stripper.
Oh, yeah.
He suddenly stopped the entire band and said, Mr. Bass Player, would you please play bars 69 to 70 something for me? And 50 heads turned to see who the victim is, you know. And I, with the sweat going down here, I played something.
Yeah.
And he was very kind. He said, well, it's not what I've written, but it'll do.